Hey guys, welcome back. I'm very glad you're here today because I think this is going to be maybe an important video about growing tomatoes. And it's something maybe we don't think about. When I first started growing tomatoes with a passion and an obsession, I didn't think about this at all. But now that I have, 4 years behind me of being very tomato obsessed and growing my own for 4 years, picking out varieties, searching through those seed catalogs, I've come to realize we need to think a little bit closer about the variety type that we're putting into our growing zone, our location, our climate. So let's go look at a few of my plants. And it's so obvious to me this summer in particular. We've had drought conditions, we've had extreme heat, like extreme heat. If I had made better choices, I may have more tomatoes in the next month or two. So let's go have a look and I'll talk to you along the way. You can see some of my tomatoes behind me. Some are doing great, some are very struggling, and some are gone. So the first examples that I'm going to show you are two varieties. One is called Mountain Princess, which is this guy right here. It is a determinate. It is from the mountains of West Virginia. So if you've ever traveled through West Virginia and drove through those windy roads and up and down the hills, you know that they probably get a decent amount of shade. But they're also going to get an extreme amount of humidity and maybe some cool nights even. And then over here, I have a silvery fir, which is from Russia. It's an heirloom from Russia. So again, if you think about the climate that it's from, they may have a cooler climate. They may have a shorter growing zone. They may, have some things that are a little bit more gentler on a tomato plant. Okay, so let's go look at those two varieties out front because my dog is drinking the water. Tonto, don't drink that. Because the ones you just looked at on my deck, the ones that are in sun right now, they do not get sun all day long. This is considered a part sun location. And so right now they are in sun. And I will say the one on the far left there is struggling more than the two that get more shade. So they do get a break. They get sun, but they get lots of breaks throughout the day as the sun passes. Over here, and you can see, what do I have? I have lots of trees back here. Do have some open sky, so there are periods of the day that it's getting full sun, some dappled light sometimes, some filtered light. But not all day full sun. So let's go look at the ones out front. I'm going to show you the ones in full sun, and I'll show you what I observed this summer as far as full sun versus part sun for these varieties that are from more gentler climates that are used to more shade, cooler nights. So now we're out front in my side yard garden. You can see my indigo rose and Queen of the Night is in full sun, doing great despite the deers. Every night they come up here and take some off of it. Peppers looking good. But I put a silvery fir here. And this is my silvery fir that has been grown in full sun. And it looks horrible compared to the one on the back deck. It is about ready to get pulled out because it's dying. This little guy will not be able to hold on much longer. So this is the silvery fir, the dwarf. It's not a dwarf, it's a determinate from Russia. You saw the one on the deck. It's beautiful, lush, probably about 3.5, no, it's probably more like 4.5 feet tall. This one is just a scraggly mess. I'm going to pick off the fruits. And then this guy is done. It'll get pulled out, something else will get planted there. And then the Mountain Princess was right here. It got pulled out 2 weeks ago. It struggled so much, it could not take the heat. So I got one more to show you as an example, and it's going to be my black creme. So these tomatoes get pretty much full sun, maybe just slightly less than the ones we just looked at. As far as the indigo rose, these are probably just maybe an hour less a day. This is the black creme. Or what's left of him. He's going to get pulled out too. As soon as I get these last few fruits, I've probably gotten about 9 to 11 off of him already. I don't think he's going to make it much longer. So I'll try to get these fruits off, and then he's getting pulled. So this is my full sun black creme. He's probably 2.5 feet tall at the most. Struggled, did give me a lot of fruit, and now he is done. So let's go see my black creme that is growing in full sun. Here's another indigo rose, loving the full sun. Artisan blush doing okay in the full sun, except it's, we've had a little bit of rain in one day. We got all the rain we needed for a month in one day, so a lot of the fruits have cracked. I tried to pick them, but they just couldn't take that rain that we got all of a sudden. Okay, so let's go look at the black creme in part sun. You always got to be aware of your light when you're a gardener and your sun. And so there's that black creme again. He is still in sun, but it's starting to be more of a shadier sun. And then, of course, the farther I go this way, this is full sun all day long. Right now we're starting to get a break here for the black creme, but let's go look at the part sun black creme because he is in complete shade at the moment. Do you see him? He is huge. Peppers, beans, more tomatoes. But look at that black creme. Same plant, same growing conditions. I grew them both from seed. Everything the same. Same fertilization. Now, this one has not produced one for me to pick yet, but they're close. And, but such a difference in the foliage. Look at how beautiful and green. So happy. It's so tall. It's taller than me. And it's just amazing, the difference between the two plants. And so I have read that black creme is one that will tolerate more shade. It is also from Russia, but it's an indeterminate, so it should keep growing until first frost. May have to do some trimming though to kind of contain this growth. So I just think that was such a huge epiphany for me this summer, seeing how those varieties struggled. And so next year when I pick out what I'm growing, I'm going to look at varieties that may, be more suited to my climate and kind of compare them to where that seed originated, like where was it cultivated, for generations, kind of match that to where I want to grow them. But with that said, I would say if you want to try something, try it. It may do great in your area despite being a mix match from where it was originally developed. Man, I just realized I have got a serious problem there. Yep, need to get out here. Thankfully, I just want the bulbing part of the kohlrabi and not the leaves. So, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking when I start to pick out my tomatoes next year, I'm going to look at it kind of like a twofold situation. So I'm going to kind of think about my climate and what the tomato is accustomed to for generations and generations of seed saving and producing and growing those tomatoes in that environment. So that's one way. Or like these tomatoes. These are all indeterminate big slicers. They like the sun, they like the humidity, and they like the heat. And they're really tall, they're really big. So, these all might be good choices for where I'm growing. Of course, we've had unusual weather too, so you can't always predict everything. Or I can grow what I want to grow and give it the environment it wants, like these determinants that we opened the video with, that really need a cooler, shorter growing season. And so I'm kind of making that situation for them by putting them up here where they get a break from the heat and a break from the sun, because there's so much shade coming and going throughout the day. So I'm kind of mimicking what their natural habitat might be. And as you can see by the ones that I put out in full sun, without thinking about what their needs were, they are gone. Those plants are gone. But these guys are still flourishing and looking great. All right, guys, I hope you're having a good gardening week, and I hope my epiphany or my thought process with these tomato selection seeds for next year and how I'm going to grow my plants helps anyone. If so, comment below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.